Welcome to the CFG GameCast, episode number 121, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and Fridays, and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love. Give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you on any podcast services out there, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Oh, not too much. It's been a crazy, hectic week, but I got really far in Inscription. I'm loving that game, and it keeps surprising me. I think I'm done, and then it like drops another bomb on you, and I'm loving it. So yeah, did a lot of that. Did a lot of babysitting this week, and yeah, I had a good time. I have the biggest load of laundry to ever do in my lifetime after this. So yay for busy weeks.
Yay for busy weeks. You know what? It's actually good to be busy, though. You know, it's kind of like, it's worse than being like, when you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm bored. Let's find out what needs to be done. But now you got stuff to do. And then it's like, okay, this is the job. This is the plan. This is what we need to do to knock this stuff out. So there you go. But that's good. I'm glad you're liking Inscription. Someone told me about playing Inscription too, about it. I think it was you who told me to go try playing Inscription. That I might like it.
I think you would, because it's card based turned, and so you have to learn the card game in different variations throughout the game. There's several different acts, and the game almost completely 100% changes, not once but twice, and it's really neat. And I think you'll like it. It's spooky, but spooky like Nightmare Before Christmas spooky, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So it's not a horror game; it's just spooky.
I really want to watch that movie again. I don't know what, like, I've just been in that mood all the time.
It. Solid movie, yeah.
Very solid movie from 91. It still keeps on kicking. But yeah, hey Lex, do you know who the real person was that framed Roger Rabbit?
I do. His name is
the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. How are you doing, my dude?
Doing well. It has been. Oh, excuse me there. It has been a heck of a week, like you were saying. It's been super busy work-wise. I'm all gearing up and getting things ready. Witch Queen drops here in about 10 days. I am freaking pumped. I'm going to bleed. I'm going to play until my eyeballs bleed. I'm not going to just bleed randomly. That'd be weird. Lex is going to hopefully do a solid...
Hello.
These are facts. But
he's in my calendar. I'm ready to
Well, yeah, exactly. And then of course, Seafood dropped earlier in the week. I've been really enjoying that. Apparently I'm not as good as Davis, but I'm still having a good time playing the game. It's really dope. It's challenging. It's been a pretty solid. It was a busy week, but a very productive week, I feel, as well.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, definitely. And I can teach you if you want me to show you how to play Sifu.
Are you asking? Are you saying that you could be my Sifu? Are you gonna be my Sifu?
I can.
Okay, there it is.
You already know I'm your Sifu already.
There it is.
That's good. Yeah, it's funny that Sifu is a fun. Definitely a fun game. I at first I was a little concerned and I was like, oh wow, this game is short. Like a regular beat 'em up, but no, it is not just a regular beat 'em up. So I think it's definitely worth the price. Definitely something to kind of go upon. Their systems, I mean, it's not like they reinvented the wheel or anything, but I do like their systems that they incorporated on the death counter and stuff like that. But then you just look cool. Just whatever you do, you're just looking cool. So
go into God mode. I love when kung fu video games or movies go into God mode and they just destroy everybody.
So there's a part in the beginning of it. This is not really a spoiler because this is literally the first stage of your everything's 3D, right? It's 3-dimensional, but then there's a part where it goes to a 2D platform and you're just in a hallway beating that ass. Cool. Just beating that ass on all these different kinds of people that are coming at you. And it's if you master the controls of it, you feel like you're literally invincible while you're just knocking 30 guys out. And then like the same thing like in the second stage too, like when you're inside the club area, you just like your moves are so precise and perfect. It's like, okay, I'm gonna use this weapon to knock these two guys out, pick up this glass bottle, throw the glass bottle at this guy, knock him out, and then after that just switch over. It's just so like once you get to that point of frame of mind of how if you master everything of like how the buttons and the controls work, then you will feel invincible. You still are vulnerable, but still invincible. You know, it's kind of weird. How quick did it take to you to parry for parry timing? It really wasn't that hard for parry timing. You know, my problem was sidestepping, like because because like you know like you had to fight these big burly dudes, and then they have the unblockable throw attack. Like I'm literally trying to parry it, but then I realized, oh, there's nothing to parry because he's trying to pick you up. You got to sidestep, and it's like my brain just could not compute that. So like I was just like, yeah. So like because your block button's your L trigger or your L button, but then you have to move left or right. But then I realized that your dash button works better, like R2, because you're actually going in a further extent. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I kind of So sometimes you gotta pick those kind of fights and stuff.
The only game that I suck at parrying is Cuphead. I can't. I don't know what it is. My brain is like, no. And if you squeeze that control any harder, it's gonna shatter.
What's it called? You should get that one ability in Cuphead that allows you to auto parry that, if that's the case. The ability is like, okay, here you go. It's like auto parry that gives it to you automatically. Yeah. You didn't know that?
I couldn't get past like the second stage.
Oh yeah, there's an item you buy that you can buy from the guy that allows you to auto parry.
Huh.
So yeah. We gotta play that. You do know that when DLC comes out, I think we gotta do a co-op stream of that. That would be pretty. That's gonna be fun.
So have fun with me.
Oh yeah, Smitty should be that. Well, I don't know.
I've never played Cuphead.
You never played Cuphead? Oh,
come over. I'll give you a controller.
I have no desire. I have no desire to.
Oh, see, and that's like my era of cartoons. Like growing up, I
dude.
watched Italian cartoons that looked very similar to like that art style, and so it just like it's like,
and that is a cool art style. Yeah, I do have a great appreciation for that art style, but I've seen people play it, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
You're just done.
I don't need to experience. I've experienced it watching it. That's enough.
I watched Markiplier have a tough time. I was like,
Cuphead is not an easy game. I will say that. But
and then I gave up.
Cuphead is definitely not an easy game. But once you play it, like once you finish all of them, it's like, yeah, especially when you fight all the bosses, it feels good. It just feels good, you know. So yeah.
Dang it, now I'm gonna Cuphead.
Yeah, and then the tough stages for me in Cuphead was the flying ones. I always had a harder time with the flying stages. But not the platform stages were kind of 50-50.
Yeah.
Monkey Blood says that Cuphead parry timing is tough, and it is. So there you go. So there's no harm to admit on that. No. So yeah. So let's. I know y'all don't want to have us sit down and talk about Sifu and Cuphead strategies. So let's go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So we each of us picks a topic or of a news topic or discussion within video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry itself. And we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners and viewers on twitch.tv, to be a part of the conversation as always. So if there's something that you want to talk about, chime in, just type it inside the chat. We would love to talk to you about it. We'll have a good old fashioned time. So there you go. All right, so let's start this party with me, Master Sifu. So let's go with this. So I'm going to talk about the Nintendo Direct that just recently came in this week. So like, for the most part, Nintendo's been kind of in a lull, I would say. They've been kind of coasting a little bit for since the fall. There was no big release that happened in the fall this year, but they so we kind of didn't have an idea how strong their library of games were going to be for this year. The only thing that we kind of heard was some of the rumors saying that they're in the middle of their cycle for the Switch and stuff like that, and things and other things. So I was actually really anticipating this Nintendo Direct. I think this is something that was needed for Nintendo, for folks at Nintendo to be looking forward to, what games are coming. These are not all the games that are coming out this year, but but it's definitely a bit. There's a lot of cool games. So the first one the first one when they did the Direct, they were talking about Fire Emblem Warrior 3 Hopes. What this is that this is a Muso, which is basically like a beat 'em up in like large areas and stuff
like Dynasty
that,
Warriors.
Yeah, like Dynasty Warriors, exactly.
Ooh.
Like Dynasty Warriors. But this is set in the world of Three Houses, the game, the RPG that came out like 2 years ago. So this is a in a way like a continuing story of the continuing story of the Three Houses story. So this one's going to be pretty cool. They only showed really the gameplay, and they showed a little bit of the small features and like the cinematic and stuff. So yeah, so this one looks pretty good. I mean, if you like that kind of game and you liked Fire Emblem, because the Fire Emblem Warrior games have always been fairly good too. So it's definitely good. It's definitely good. But the cool thing, they also like announced the Advance Wars 1+2, and I don't know, Smitty or Lex, have y'all played Advance Wars back in the day?
I don't think
No.
so. Let me look it up just to confirm, but I don't think so.
It looks familiar for sure, but I don't think I ever played any.
Oh, I love tactics games, dude. They're like, yeah, so basically it's just it's a simple tactical game of like two different military things. So they were doing a remaster or a revamp of it on the Switch. They're adding like voice commands on all the command officers and stuff. If you like those kind of games, like Final Fantasy Tactics or stuff like that, then you would love Metal Slug. Metal Slug was a very simple 2D action game, not really big on the graphics, but it was just really fun and simple and stuff. So that one's coming soon. That's something that I'm definitely going to pick up. No Man's Sky, aka No Mansky. It's coming to Switch. It's definitely coming to Switch, which is very interesting. I would say that. I mean, it's not really something that, I mean, I think it's a cool thing that's coming out on the platform like that. So do it as you will, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, like, you're the only one that really played No Man's Sky, and this is a shell of a game of what it once was. So who knows what this is going to be like,
Wait, what do you mean?
Adam played
No Man's
this
Sky
for hours.
Yeah,
you said
Adam played this. I sat next to him while he played this.
Oh yeah, I mean, but like when it first came out, this is nowhere near what it once was.
No.
It was.
Yeah, which is a good thing, which is a very good thing. I mean, this is that like one example of just a game that like had a terrible launch. They were able to pick up the pieces and make a fantastic game. They already had something good, but like I think they overpromised on what they could deliver out the gate, and that really soured things up. But they reined it in. They've got a heck of a game for sure.
Did they really have it something really good though? I mean, I was kind of like, I never understood its popularity when it first came out, and I was just like, I can understand it now. I mean, it looks a lot better now.
And the possibilities of it almost like, I mean, we thought out the gate that you're going to have multiplayer and stuff like that. So the whole procedurally generated universe, I think, is really cool, but it felt very lonely, and the multiplayer was really the big selling point for me, because then you're supposed to be able to build your own base on any kind of world and stuff like that, which all that stuff is available now. It just wasn't at launch. But it really is. I mean, if you like space exploration games, this is definitely a game that you should play or check out for sure, especially in this state. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And all right, well, the next game that they were talking about was Mario Strikers Battle League. It's a part of the Mario Strikers series, which is the soccer, the 4v4 soccer game that was like cute with the with Nintendo characters and stuff. This one depends on like this one. The differences in this one, the gimmick, I should say, because there's always a gimmick for each one. Is now the you can enhance your characters by your gear. Depends on the gear that you wear, your special abilities and stuff like that. And what's kind of interesting, which is cool to me, is it's 8-player local multiplayer on your Switch,
which is
I was like,
awesome. That's
I didn't even know you
awesome.
could do that.
I didn't
was
either.
Like, wow,
I
that's a
wondered
lot.
that. I was like, if you have enough controllers, how many can connect to one Switch?
The answer is 8 right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless they do NBA 2K22, then it's like, hey, it's 5v5. It's like 10.
Right. That would be
I mean,
nuts.
very big possibility. Who knows? All right, cool. And then, so then also they showed a little bit of a teaser with Splatoon 3, like some of the extra, the new things that they're adding in the Salmon Run, for Splatoon, like the new enemies and new attacks and stuff like that for it. So that's all good. But the big thing I think that this game that this direct did, which was really cool, was the level of remakes, of like remasters and remakes that's coming out, like especially Squaresoft went big on the on remasters and remakes, because Front Mission 1, Front Mission First and Front Mission 2 have been officially announced to be remakes that are coming out on the Switch. I don't know if it's going to be an exclusive on the Switch, which are real. If you like the tactical, like Panzer the mech fights and stuff, this is this game, because Front Mission 1, the Front Mission First was the game that came out initially on the Super Nintendo. This is how old this was. And 1 and 2 did, and then 3 came out on the PlayStation, the PSX, which most people played 3. This is going to be a very fun game, if because you can blow pieces off of the mech, and they had a cool story and stuff like that. So looking forward to that. But then they also did stuff like Star Wars Forces Unleashed, which I would not pay because that looked horrible. Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection, SD Gundam, Gundam and stuff like that. But the cool thing is that they announced also a Chrono Cross Remastered that's coming April 7th, which is a game that came out on the PlayStation 1 that was most people were anticipating. So like me, because I'm old school JRPG for life. So so we'll go with that. But yeah, so I mean, overall, I think that the games that came out and the things that they announced, like I think some of the cool, interesting ones, like the Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series, that's such a random series that they decided to bring back, but it's cool that they brought it back. So that's what it kind of was, kind of going back and forth on from this direct. Like it kind of showed you a lot of nostalgia with while at the same time mixing in the new stuff, because the big thing, the biggest announcement out of all of it was Xenoblade 3 just was announced at the end of it. So they're really, I don't know what they decided to do on this one, to say, hey, we're going to be focusing on our RPG collections on the Switch, but we're going to catalog it in this direct itself. So we'll see. But I think also the other big news I think in this one that was also really cool was that they decided they're doing a DLC content pack for Mario Kart 8. And I think that is the coolest thing for a game that's came out 7 or 8 years ago. This game originally came out on the Nintendo Wii U. And now there's still
the Wii
content on it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was Wii U. 8,
yeah,
8 was Wii U. Yeah. So that so this game really has been I've been wondering, and I've always asked this, is like, why haven't they made a Mario Kart 9 or something like that, with more new content? This definitely answers it. This pack is going to cost $24.99, or if you have the expansion pack on the Switch Online, it's free if you got that pack. It will add 48 stages to it's going to come out in packs of 6. So the first 6 is going to come out in March, but it's going to go all the way to the end of 2023. It's going to have a total of 48 new stages. And I'm just like, that is awesome that they're still keeping up to it, the booster course pass. So yeah, I think this is definitely a well-deserved thing to get, especially if you love Mario Kart. I love Mario Kart. I suck at Mario Kart. Anyone could beat me in it. Lex, you could beat me in it.
You'd be surprised. I'd be off the map every other like little turn of my wheel. So
we'll see. We'll definitely see. But I'm looking forward to it, man. That's what we need to do. We need to do a stream of that.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Oh.
I'd have to go over to Smitty's.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Bring my controller.
Oh, that's true. They'll definitely go with it, but still. So I mean, what y'all think? Did y'all watch any of y'all two watch the Nintendo Directs, or did y'all?
I did watch a little bit of it, but not all of it. I thought, okay, as someone who doesn't really play Mario Kart, I thought it looked really fun. I think coming out with an expansion pack like that is genius, because why fix what's not broken, right? So coming out with 9 and then having that expansion pack there is kind of like a kick in the teeth for people who've played 8. So I think that's great on their part, and it shows that, hey, if you've already got it, you get it for free. Merry Christmas. I think that's pretty great. A lot of the games I didn't play as a kid. I had a Nintendo next door, and I got to play like the bare minimum. But yeah, I didn't get a Game Boy Color until I was like 11. And that was my extent of Nintendo for a long time. But the games look really cool. And I think they did a stellar job, because a lot of the times with these, showcasing what's coming, it's not really showcasing. They show the same reel over and over, and it does nothing for the audience. It's like, that wasn't even a teaser. What was the whole point of having this in the first place if you're not going to show me the goods, man? I think they did a really good job of showing what's coming out, still, keeping people on their toes, because they didn't release all of it, and making a really good show. Because again, a lot of these other companies are just showing you the same stuff over and over. Like, ooh, dude, you showed me a logo. I don't care. I want to see gameplay. So I think they did a really good job. I mean, this is how these companies should be doing it. They need to look at this and go, okay, how can I improve what I did last year to what Nintendo Director showed? I think they're stomping their foot into the sand and saying, no, we're gonna make an imprint. And they did. I think they did a great job.
Yeah, definitely agree.
And they always, Nintendo always does such a great job of just being concise with their announcements, and their things always run smoothly. I really had a great appreciation, and I think this is where Nintendo kind of sits, and the Switch sits at an advantage, are these RPG and JRPG games. Like, they are super popular on there, and it's a great medium for me anyway to play a game like that. Like, I enjoy playing something like that on a Switch. I enjoy it on PC as well, but I would find just as much enjoyment. This game, I had never heard of this game. I have it on this video. It's called Live Alive. It was a Japanese, right? This is the first time that they're bringing it over to the West, and I was just like, the whole concept of that game. I was like,
that game.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like, that is a must-have for me, because I was like, just the whole concept. See, all right, yeah. I was like, that's such a cool concept for the game itself. Obviously, I'm a huge Mario Kart. I've been playing Mario Kart since the original Mario Kart. My brother and I, we would record our races and talk trash. Like, we were doing Twitch before there was a Twitch back in the friggin' 90s. Yeah, oh yeah. We do commentary and everything. Oh yeah.
Like a VHS player.
Yo, dude, that's exactly what we use. That is exactly what we use.
You had to put on your shoulder. Like,
no, not like that. No, we had it hooked up so that our VCR was hooked into the TV, and it would pull the picture directly. Yeah. So like, we can obviously, but like, yeah, that's how, like, I'm so excited that they're doing that. It was a matter of time. I think this is also indicative to a Switch within, you see what I did there? Within Nintendo as well, where they're going more of, instead of coming out with new games, servicing these games that are already existing and being like, because we've talked about this, like, why don't they just add these tracks in later? Or it's like, boom, here you go. This is exactly what we're doing. Not only that, but they're going to give you 48 new tracks over the course of 6 phases, like 2 years. That's huge. There is they're bringing back basically Wii Sports. I love the Wii Sports. It was so good.
I just feel like they're a little
I
late
will
with the Wii Sports, though.
Smack y'all down at some tennis.
No,
Oh,
no,
y'all don't
I
even
was
know.
that in the bowling.
Let's
I
go.
was ridiculous. But yeah,
Rock
and I
impact.
think also, what is it next week that I think it's like the Witch Queen drop. This is available to be able to test if you have the expansion. I love that stuff is coming with the expansions and that, so you're getting, again, you're getting that value from having, if you're paying for the expansion, or paying for the whatever the family plan or the Nintendo Plus, whatever it is. We're starting to now see the value for doing that, and they are definitely, I feel, model wise, being able to shift. They're doing it, and it's been a little clunky. They definitely have some internet issue things, I believe, but they're getting there, and they're
To be honest with you, though, I mean, this something like this is actually making me want to get the expansion pass now.
Yeah.
Because like now, initially, because no, you're totally right. Because like originally when it first initially came out, when they said Sega and Super Nintendo, or Sega and what was the other system that they wanted to add? 64, Sega and 64 games. I was like, why would I want to pay extra for just to play Sega 64 games that I played back in the day? Like even with nostalgia and stuff, it's like, no, I'm good. But now they gave you a reason with this one for $24.99 on top of that. On top of it, it's like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense for you to spend it. So
yeah.
I mean,
it was good. This is a solid direct. They came in, they showed people, here's the games, here's what they look like, here's when they're coming out. Peace.
Mic dropped.
Yeah. Nintendo, they always do it, dude. They always do it so well, man. They're so to the point with their things. And you would think too, like, there's probably people that watch this that maybe aren't that into JRPGs and stuff like that, are probably like, I don't know how I felt, about that. But like, there's a lot of people, and that's a huge genre. And for it to be able to, again, I feel like it's a great genre to play on a Switch. So I'm actually quite excited about a few of those, and definitely has got me interested. I mean, even since we talked, I didn't realize that that one game, Fire Emblem, was the same people as Dynasty Warriors. I love Dynasty Warriors. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
no, that's two different things. Yeah,
but it's not the OG game. It's like a version with those characters in a Dynasty Warrior
format.
Right. Okay.
Format.
Yeah.
Because like that's what it is. Because the people who do that genre specifically, it's usually it's one company. Pretty much. It's like all of them are. It's like, I forgot, it's called like Omega C or something. I don't know, but like but definitely.
The one game that they haven't brought back that I want them to,
Omega Force,
just for this game, no, I would pay for the entire the plan. Is Rocket Knight Adventures. I never got to finish it, and you can't make a save file when you play it on Genesis, and it is so freaking cute. You're like a little possum, and you're just fighting all these little duder guys, and it's amazing. I love it.
Is Rocket Knight in one of the games that you can play?
It's not on their list yet, and I'm holding out hope that they'll add it. I want to play it so bad.
Do they have Kid Chameleon?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't even remember what's on there. I forget about that service too. Like one of the big things for us was getting it for the stupid or for the Animal Crossing DLC.
Yeah. So it's all good. Let's see. Lucentai says Konami is making pachinko machines of Rocket Knight Adventures. Just now that you mentioned that, I didn't know they're doing pachiko machines of Rocket Knight. That's
interesting.
Kind of weird.
What's that? What is a pachiko machine, and how do I get one?
What?
You can't, because most of them are in Japan. They're really expensive. But most of them now are digital. They're not as many moving parts, but it's like metal marbles and stuff. It is a fun game to play. You should go on YouTube and check it out. Definitely go do it.
I love Rocket Knight. If you guys ever get the chance, I still have my Sega Genesis, but it's at an old friends of mine, and her kids play it. So I feel bad being like, give it back.
I'm like, it's time for you guys to step into the new generation of video games. I'd like my old thing back, please.
They have PlayStations and stuff, and they're like, yeah, we want to play Sega Genesis. And I'm like,
interesting.
So I can't ask for it back.
Yeah.
but yeah, so there's a lot of, I had a lot of games and they have all of them there. But yeah, no, if you ever get the chance, Rocket Knight Adventures is so adorable and it's so good, and the bad guys are good, and like the art style's amazing. Like it's so good. It's so good. 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorite
Got
games.
the seal of approval. All right, but yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so no, good job on Nintendo on like let you know what's coming out. So we'll see what we're just keep an eye out, keep an eye out on, from them at this point. Smitty,
Yeah.
what are you bringing to the table?
You already know we gotta talk about it. This was gonna be my thing last week. This is gonna be my thing this week. But we had the announcement of Sony is purchasing Bungie, and the internet lost their freaking mind over it. And I think rightfully so. There's a few different things, and for a lot, and it's funny because just going on Twitter and talking to people and stuff like that, I felt like there was a lot of people that were kind of salty, being like, oh, they're going to bring back PlayStation exclusives, which I think is a legitimate concern for people, because that was to have something gated like that and like only PlayStation people. I didn't realize that like certain missions were only for PlayStation people, or certain guns you could only get on PlayStation, which I think was pretty crazy.
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes, dude. Yeah. And that was Destiny 1. But this is a kind of a weird winding story. If you know Bungie, Bungie originally was part of Microsoft, and then they were like, we need to step out from the shadows and do our own thing. And then, I'm sorry. Then they got purchased by Activision, and then they went into Activision, and that's probably the worst point in time of Destiny throughout this run, I feel, was when they were very much about getting them dollar bills. Then they said, you know what, we're done with you guys, Activision. We're independent. We're working for ourselves. We're doing our things. They have turned Destiny around. The plans, everything is great for that. Then we have Sony stepping in. This is where this is huge, and on both sides, I believe. For Bungie, this is capital that they could greatly use. We know, at least right now, we're being told that Destiny 2 is it. They're not going to do a Destiny 3. They're going to build off the framework of Destiny 2, and everything will just cycle through that. That is now the thing. That at least is for the foreseeable future. They, on the Sony end of things, they were able to, number one, I think the deal was 6.7 billion, I want to say. So not too crazy as far as the week before that and the Activision Blizzard thing. But this was huge because, number one, I found that they were paying a lot of that money went towards the actual developers and keeping people on the team to be able to stay within Bungie. Here's why that's important. Number one, they announced as well that they plan on, which totally makes sense. Basically, they're going to use that the abilities that Bungie's has as a live service, game in Destiny and what they've built within that, and they are going to utilize that stuff to be able to then in the future, they've got, like they said, there are like 10 titles or something like that, as far as live service games that they're looking for them to be working on. They've stated that they plan on keeping Destiny open on all platforms. There's no plans on, and this is a decision from Bungie, because Bungie not only are retaining those rights, but they're retaining all creative rights. So Bungie is the one that's going to be making decisions, and Sony's not really, at least that's what they're stating. Sony's not going to be the ones that are going through and saying, hey, you got to do this or you got to do that. They're just going to be helping them along the way. In return, they're going to help them basically build out there. And this is why it's smart, because we said it, especially like with the cloud gaming and stuff like that. They're like, I feel like PlayStation's a little behind the curve on this kind of stuff. So to be able to have a solid team that knows how to work well in a live service environment, I think the future, and not only for Bungie and new IPs that they're going to inevitably be working on, is really exciting. But I just found this out as well. It turns out that there's a little more motivation behind Sony, because they also plan, I'm going to drag this over here. They also plan on working and creating a Destiny movie brought to you by Sony. This is freaking huge. Number one, I was like, this should be a movie or something. So I am so freaking excited to hear that. It makes sense. Sony, being able to move forward, and I don't know if they'll end up making it a film or if it'll be like a series or something like that. But obviously you already have a huge built-in community from the games. But if they do it properly, the story and the lore of Destiny is freaking huge and crazy. And I've always said, I was like, dude, I would love to see this on a big screen. I would love this to be a movie. And in their earnings call, they confirmed that Bungie and Sony were both working closely to bring Destiny to other mediums. So they haven't specifically said that, yes, it's going to be a movie. But it definitely seems like a direction that they're looking to go in. So again, that seems like to me that number one, they're going to get a nice return of investment as long as they build out some good stuff, not only from the built-in Destiny things, but you got to think about the future and moving forward. And they have to, they're playing 5D chess here, and we just can't see all the moves that are happening. But there's this weird dance going on with these bigger companies, especially in the gaming space, and they're just trying to position themselves, I feel, in the best possible position for what's to come future wise for gaming. So we got a little clearer intentions as to the move, but I love that. I love the fact that it's not just, so many people looked at it at a surface level like, all they got is Destiny. It's just Destiny. Why would you do that? That's dumb. It's like, dude, like, number one, Destiny is a huge moneymaker. So why wouldn't they? Number two, there's so much more. There's so much that the folks at Bungie are doing well that they can then take and utilize within their own infrastructure, within the new games that they're developing and stuff like that. And they've already got a solid backbone. So to me, that was absolutely huge. This has got me really excited for the future and the capital that Bungie is going to be able to get as well. I'm hoping, so far they said the plan is still the plan up through 2024 in that roadmap with the final shape, I think, is the last of this story for Destiny. I don't know what happens after that. Do they move on to a Destiny 3? Do they just, I don't know. We don't know what that looks like yet. But these are really exciting times. I love this purchase, and I think this is going to be beneficial for both Sony and Bungie.
Well, I think overall, like when they got the acquisition, I think I was in the middle of a stream when I heard about it. I was like, wow, this is kind of weird for Sony to do it, because it's actually kind of not in their book to buy like upfront buy a studio. They like to usually build it within the ground up. Usually, as of late, they purchased two other studios. They purchased Housemarque, and they also did Insomniac recently. But like prior to that, they built it from the ground up. But if they're going to treat them anyway how they treat their other 12 first party studios that they have, then I have the utmost confidence that they're not going to screw them over, or they're going to lose. They're going to not they're going to utilize them the way they're going to utilize their strength that they're going to bring to the table for Sony. And then let alone on top of that, like you said, the Destiny movie. It's kind of fun. I didn't even really until you just mentioned that. I was like, wow. That should have been like number one in my head.
Right,
like they got the rights to it. They have. And they're like number two in like to make movies and films and stuff like that. And they're making their first video game film with Uncharted that's coming out like in-house and stuff coming soon. So having something like Destiny to kind of power up on the backside of it too, it's just going to be even better, So like so yeah, I mean, I think like the move itself was wide. And then like when I saw that the amount 3-point-something billion, like I automatically thought to myself when that first did happen, I was like, there's no way that this was a retaliation for what they were doing about Activision, because I don't think that they I mean, it's a blow, but it's not like a blow to be like, oh my god, we gotta panic and then we gotta retaliate in some sort of way. I think this is a meticulous move that they needed to make, because like you said, like Bungie's backbone system could be strong enough for them to do what they're wanting to do in the future terms of what their plans are later past Destiny 2. So like if someone's not thinking of the now, which is like, oh, all they got's Destiny and all that stuff,
Right.
then it's like but keep in mind, they're a game studio. They're always thinking of what they're wanting to do. They always have passion projects that they're wanting to try, especially a game like Bungie. When Bungie said Halo is boring for us, we don't want to make another Halo game, we want to make a new IP, and they did with Destiny. It will eventually get to that point. So I think that so I mean I'm glad that they what they're doing, and then what you've told me like kind of pretty much solidified what their plans are for this, which makes me utmost confident that they're going to take care of them very well, because Sony is a very good is a company that you don't have to worry about like layoff or stuff like that unless you're not doing anything for the brand itself. And it takes a lot for them to just shut down the studio, because like remember like the people who did The Getaway, like that studio did nothing else for almost a decade before that sucker got shut down. So so yeah. Let's see, what Lucinda say? They claimed that this deal was in the works for a while, so supposedly it was happenstance timing. But no, that's exactly what it is. Like, and this is what most people kind of don't understand. It's 100% happenstance timing. It's like when it's like, because it's like people are not like, these companies are not reacting to whatever Xbox is doing, because Xbox is doing their own thing. Xbox's level of like their what's called Xbox Game Pass, their whole plan is completely different than what Sony's is doing. So they don't care what they're going to do with that. So like, especially when you're going to dish out that kind of money, billions of dollars of money, it's not something they're like saying, oh my God, they bought Activision. What do we need to do? Oh, okay, let's hurry up and let's buy another studio so we can show that we're just as strong as they are.
Right.
No, it's not. It's not. It's like, people just need to calm down with that. It's not. It's just the situation on the announcements are just like coincidentally kind of coming to this, that's all that is.
Well, and I think people like to think of it too. It's like, oh, it's like a high school drama. No, like, you have to think of these corporations as making chess moves. They've been calculating these moves to further their company and to further what they want to do. Like, Destiny would make a great freaking movie and a great series. So why not purchase them, so then they have the rights and they can move forward with that? And I think we have to stop thinking about video games as just in this one environment, because Uncharted is a movie, Destiny could then be a movie, Halo series is coming out. And so I think we need to remember that these aren't just video games anymore. These are things that people fall in love with. It's a passion, and you can move that forward in other areas. And it's been done and it's been successful. So why not? Right? They've got the money to do it. Let's do it. Let's go. And again, these have been happening for months, because getting stuff like that finalized takes months, and it probably would have been announced sooner had we not been in COVID times. So then the timing would have been very different. You know what I mean? It's not like Brenda in the main office heard that her enemy purchased another game out from under her when she was thinking about it. You know what I mean? It's not high school drama. Like, this is things that takes time, and they were planning on it, and it's a smart move, man. Smart move.
I think that like console wars, the console wars that we grew up in is dead. Like, that's what it is. It's not what it was back in the 90s, where Nintendo had 90% of of the market,
right?
The big boy was like Sega is the one that's knocking on the doors and stuff like that. It's now to a point where it's like, they need each other to kind of play well with each other at the same time, to kind of elevate the gaming just gaming culture itself. So like, I mean, look at this, for instance, like MLB The Show is a Sony exclusive game that's made by Sony, but you can now this year it's going to be on PlayStation, Xbox, and then on the Nintendo Switch.
And the Switch.
And on the Switch itself, because they want more hands to play it. So I just think that overall, that like when it comes to this kind of thing, it's crazy. And then like as for like like for instance like the Activision deal for $65 billion, it's going to take a year. It's going to take a year for that to go through, but just to make sure there's no monopolies and all that stuff. The rigmarole through for them to go through the whole process of it. Same thing for Sony. It's probably not. It's going to take them probably next year until they finalize everything's finalized correctly. So yeah, you're right. But like but no, but I think this is a perfect thing for them to do. This is a good natural order of where they need to go with. I mean, even though I don't play Destiny 2, I think this is a something that I think it's good for everybody. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
my dad never played Halo. He knows I played Halo in high
Mhm.
school, but he is excited for the series. He doesn't have HBO, so he comes over here and sits on our couch and munches out, and we watch shows. And he's excited. He's like, plan on seeing me every Sunday. I'm like, okay, fine." So I mean, it's not just for the gamers anymore. These can surpass us and then be a household name essentially. And I think that's what we got to remember. But yeah, I think this was a really smart move.
You need to introduce your dad to Peacemaker. He'll be fine.
Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe,
Peacemaker
maybe.
and Peacemaker and the Righteous Gemstones. Those are
Oh,
the
we've
two.
been watching Peacemaker. I like all week. I'm like, can we watch the episode? He's like, no, you have to wait till Friday. I'm like, no, because I knew he was gonna make me play Lost Ark, so then we wouldn't end up watching it anyways.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Well,
All
yeah,
right,
I will.
Lex.
Yes,
Why don't you close us off? What
I
do you bring to
will.
the table?
Well, fun fact, if you guys didn't know, Monday is Valentine's Day. I know, sucks. It comes every year. I hate it.
Monday
I'm,
too.
yeah, I know. But if you are taken and you're not like super lovey-dovey like myself, here's an idea. Why don't you play a co-op game with your partner? Just a thought, and I have a good list for you too.
Uh-oh.
Some of them aren't necessarily co-ops, but it's fun how you could make it work.
I want to
So
guess one of them if it's
okay,
possible.
go ahead.
It Takes Two. Has to be on that
Yes,
list.
it is. It's
Yes.
number 2. So Stardew Valley is the first one that they mention. If your partner likes Animal Crossing, this is another game they'll probably like. Adam was telling me that there are some really interesting storylines in Stardew Valley that I did not know about. But you could play together and build friendships and pursue romance and all of that fun jazz. It Takes Two, of course. You guys already know how I feel about this game. It was phenomenal. I would absolutely play it again if Adam said, let's do it. He's like, man, you already played it though. But I didn't get all of the achievements, so I would love to play again. It Takes Two is fantastic, and you do have to work together to make things work, and it's a lot of fun. And I knew Ducky got frustrated a couple times, not necessarily with me, but that he couldn't do it so that we could, kill a boss or whatever the thing was. Haven, which I've never heard of. This is a newer game. It's a sci-fi. It's really neat. So you have to work together. You have these like flow threads. You go on expeditions, you gather resources, you have like a little nest. And it looks really neat. And their nest is their spaceship, and I think it's pretty cute. So that's another one. Dream Daddy, which is Adam's favorite choice.
Dream Daddy? Really? That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, I heard this is
Now
good.
it's not co-op, but you could work together to woo another daddy. And you can trade off with the controller, decide what you want to say to these other daddies, go on dates, and try to get all the multiple endings. It would be fun, and I think that's what Dustin and I are going to play Monday. I do want to play this Super Mario Odyssey. Now that I've had brain surgery, I visually cannot platform. I'm terrible at it, but he can. So if you want to play Super Mario Odyssey with your partner, even if they're not into games, they could play Cappy, and they can run around, kill enemies, gather resources while you do the actual platforming. I thought that was a great idea, especially if your partner's not super into gaming but doesn't mind watching you play necessarily. So that could be fun. Don't starve together. However, I do recommend you bring another couple into that,
Don't
because
starve together. Wow.
you need at least 4 people to really start gathering resources, or else it's no dice, man.
I would
If
say that's a
you
weird.
might
That's a
want
stretch,
to,
though. That's
you
a
might end up
stretch.
starting a fight if you play that one. So be careful. Um, Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time. This sounds really cute. I love the colorfulness of it. It's really awesome looking. It's a couch co-op. You and your partner explore the galaxy's Lovers, which stands for League of Very Empathetic Rescue Space Nauts, using teamwork to battle the evil forces of anti-love and rescue adorable space bunnies. I want to rescue bunnies. Together, and you control the ship using turrets, lasers to attack, shields to defend, yada yada. Looks adorbs. Now, if you're
Yes,
trying to start a
okay.
fight with your partner and get broken up with on Valentine's Day, play Overcooked. That's an option too.
This list is like, oh, okay, this is nice. This is nice. What do they want? A divorce?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Are you looking for a divorce this Valentine's Day? Well, here you go. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm terrible at Mario Kart and I get very upset. So if you play this with your partner, be prepared that you guys might just end up going to bed angry, and not at each other necessarily, but just angry.
Smitty will be money matching.
Right?
It's like, I bet you five a lot.
A Way Out is really good. I played this again with Ducky. He's my secret internet boyfriend, apparently. But this is a really good co-op experience. It's a really good storyline. I liked the animation. I thought it fit very well. And it's a good game, and it's a good co-op. You won't get upset, but I think you won't end up going to bed because you'll want to continue playing. Yoshi's Crafted World. I've never played it. Looks adorable. But this might be for a younger audience. You know, maybe if you don't have Valentine's Day, but your kid is home with you, maybe you guys play this together. It looks really cute. Unravel 2 is also a good option. I haven't played it yet. I'm holding out that Dust will play it with me someday, like actually for a series on stream. It's really cute. You're connected. It's a whole thing. And that's my list. So, you know, even if you're not you don't have a Valentine, just play Dream Daddy. You can get your own dates, you know?
Dream Daddy's the one of the whole thing on it. That's fair.
Oh, Des looked at the list. Yeah, he goes, oh yeah, we're playing Dream Daddy. I was like, I don't need an option. Thanks. So yeah.
Y'all should either do that or Boyfriend Dungeon.
Boyfriend Dungeon.
I heard that's good. Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Well, I would say this list is very debatable for most of that feels like it's going to
end very poorly.
Cause a fight. Well, I mean, yeah. maybe.
Unravel 2, I can understand. Yeah. I mean, no, they had some good ones, but like, come on, dude. Like A Way Out. A Way Out it's a mob fight. It's a game escaping from jail.
It's good. It is good. I played that with Smitty.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to like get upset about like, no, I wanted to go this way and you guys are stuck together or anything. With some of the games you are, and I think A Way Out was really good, but I would start that early in the day because you guys are gonna end up getting hooked and want to know more. You know what I mean?
That is true.
But
yeah, I streamed that. Yeah, I streamed that in one sitting with my friend.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
I remember that.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was good.
I love it.
I will admit. Overcooked though feels like you're just gonna fight. You're gonna fight. You're all gonna. It's just gonna be a straight up fist fight. It's like
I never played that game.
What happened? You never played Overcooked? Oh God, we need to play Overcooked one day. You like yeah. Oh my God, if you play Overcooked with 4 players, it's like
what are you doing?
Yeah. You'll become Gordon Ramsay immediately.
Oh, you know what, dude? You know what? I went into VR. I was in VR chat. And there was a game that was like that, but you had to go and like chop up meat and like do things, put things on the grill, and then somebody is running the front. Yeah, it was really cool. It was crazy. And it didn't get too crazy in there, but yeah, I could see how.
Not him. He's as slow as a snail.
Are you serious? Oh yeah, no, dude. I'm sitting there like chopping things up and like making burgers. I got this. I'm sitting there talking to the people. Like it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun in VR. Like
it is not like it is definitely not like that. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be like that.
Nope.
You're going to be yelling at people. Yep. Like, why are you throwing this on the floor?
Yeah. What are you doing?
It's going to burn.
The table move. Go around.
Yeah. Yeah, all this different kinds of stuff because it's like it's just mayhem. That's basically what that is. So
Yeah.
well, that's a cool. I mean, that's a cool list. It's interesting list. I will.
There's
say.
some, yeah. I mean, if anything, there's definitely some solid games on there to pick up if it is something that you're looking for, or even something that you're trying to get into with your significant other. I think that's a solid list of games there to be able to play and do something together.
Yeah. Well, and just a reminder, if you don't have a special loved one this year, don't worry about it, man. The right one will come eventually, and just have these games in your little bucket list to play when they decide to show up.
Just in case you decide to break up with your current girlfriend, significant other, you have this on the pocket side just so you can play with
for the rebound, so you can figure it out very easily. Do you like video games? No,
or go on
get out.
Bumble, make a new friend, and they come over and they play some couch co-op games with you. You know what I mean?
I'll remember that when I'm on. I'll remember that when I'm on my Bumble account, and I'll be like, "Hey, do you play video games?" It's like you want to play.
Adam and I are Bumble and Bumble success, man. It worked.
Wait, you guys met from Bumble?
We met from Bumble.
What is Bumble?
Date, and I was just, it's the girl has to communicate with the person. So you both have to match, and then I decide if I want to like start a conversation with them. If I don't, then they never bother me. I mean, they could find you on other socials essentially, but I make the first move. And so I was looking for a female friend, and he got swiped on by a friend of mine, and I ended up looking through. I was like, he seems interesting, and I messaged him, and he said something cute and witty back, and we went on a date, and yeah,
bada bing, bada boom.
It happened. So
yeah, that's so crazy.
But you can also just go on there for friends. Like if you're new to a city and you're trying to meet new friends, it's a good place to meet them. It doesn't have to be anything like, lovey-dovey. It can just be friendships. So
yeah,
it's very nice.
Very
I was
interesting.
looking for a girl and I got him. So
there you go, man.
Guys, that was episode number 121 of the CFG Gamecast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. As always, we will be back again next week, as or next Friday. So you could, if you missed this episode, that is definitely okay. You will be released on all podcast services on Monday morning, as every Monday. So definitely check us out there. So there is absolutely no reason to not listen to our sexy voices.
Ooh, yeah.
So be sure to enjoy, or just go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to check out the full list of interviews and stuff that we do over there, and you'll be able to see all the backlog of all the episodes that we have done. Actually, we just released our new interview with a voice actor, Bruce Elliott, who does a lot of voice